The first Democratic debate this month, and with 23 candidates vying for the stage, how are they going to divvy it up across the two nights? Who debates on which night? Who faces off against whom? What's the plan to winnow the field before the fall debates? Joining me now to discuss is DNC Chair Tom Perez. Mr. Secretary, this is like herding cats. Give me the overview of the approach.
Well, Michael, I'm happy to do that, but I want to thank you for what you did in the first 10 minutes or so of this show. I've been reflecting on your question. Will things ever change in the short run? I fear the answer is no. It'll be a matter of days or weeks before the next mass shooting because we lack the will to do something about it. And in the long run, that's what elections are about. And we're going to fight like heck. And unfortunately, everything we do in the U.S. House of Representatives meets a graveyard in the United States Senate. So we're going to keep fighting like heck.
Hey, I want to say something. Praying. I want to say something too. I reply in real time to these tweets and Facebook comments, and I don't see them in advance. I was kicking myself during the commercial break because we posted a comment where somebody said, we have a people problem. And all through the commercial break, I'm beating myself up saying, what I should have said is, we don't have a monopoly on bad people in this country. We don't have a monopoly on mental health issues in this country. We have a gun problem in this country. That's what I wanted to say to that guy. You get the final word, then we'll talk debates.
Absolutely. We can do something about this problem if we muster the will to take on the NRA, and that's what we're going to do. It's not going to happen in the short run. That's why we have elections. That's why I'm at the DNC, to build an America where we can be safe. You should be able to go to work and come home safe and sound. I am grieving for those remarkable public servants. I worked in local government. Those people don't get rich, but they are great public servants. And now they have lost their lives, and there are some who are fighting for their lives. That is wrong, and I'm going to work like hell over the course of my career in public service to make sure we change this, because we can do something about this, and we're going to continue to try like hell to do it.
All right, on the debates, let me now go to the issue I really wanted to raise. Chris Cillizza, one of my colleagues here, he made an observation about the rules for debates 3 and 4, which seem to prioritize large grassroots donor bases. And he wonders whether, in the end, isn't it who has the most money and who has the most money on hand? Are you sure you have the right metrics, is my question.
Well, we haven't changed the rules or our methodology. What we've done throughout, Michael, is to make sure that we're creating a really inclusive process. You can't win the presidency in the modern era if you can't build relationships with the grassroots. And that's why we set forth an unprecedented set of ways to get to the debate stage. You can either get there through the polling threshold, or you can get there through grassroots fundraising. 65,000 donors were what we set for the first. And it turns out that there's going to be something like 14 or 15 or over a dozen, I don't know the exact number, who are going to reach that threshold. And then the next two debates, you have to get to 130,000, which means if you've gotten to 70,000 by the first debate, you have 60,000 to go. And the more proficient you are at grassroots fundraising, the cheaper it is. And so I think it's really important for us to make sure the grassroots can be part of the process. I don't think you can win the presidency as a Democrat if you can't connect with the grassroots. So we're very proud of what we've put together. We spoke to a ton of people, got their input, and again, the proof is in the pudding. Candidates have done a very good job in the aggregate of reaching the grassroots, and I think that's going to help us as a party, Michael, in the long run.
Here's something that I worry about. In the end, a candidate in the first, second, third is only going to really get 7 to 10 minutes of speaking time. This is going to sound crazy, but hear me out on this. Wouldn't you like to see a March Madness type of model? I don't mean with elimination, but some toe-to-toe, Beto and Biden, Klobuchar and Kamala. I'm sure CNN would give the time up, you know, for two people to go at it at once, maybe just for 30 minutes, and then another two people, and another two people, and continue to mix up the lot. What do you think of that?
Well, what I think is that we have a remarkably large field, and I think that is a first-class challenge to have. And what we've set up, and we've worked together with the networks, including CNN, and they've been great partners, is a structure where we want to give everyone a fair shake to communicate their vision to the American people. If history is a guide, there are going to be some breakthrough moments in the upcoming debates where people who are currently, maybe at 1% have that breakthrough moment, and then things happen over the course of the next few months. And so what I think we've set up is a process that gives everybody not one, but 2 bites at the apple to communicate their vision to the American people. And then what we've done, and we said this all along, that in the fall, we're going to raise the threshold, because that's what we always do. You have to demonstrate that you're making progress. And 2%, is hardly a high bar in my judgment. If you've already gotten 70 or 80,000 grassroots donors, then you're over halfway to the mountaintop on that as well. And I'm confident that we're going to see great debates, and nobody's going to be talking about hand size, Michael. We're going to be talking about healthcare and climate and the issue and reducing gun violence and the issues that matter most to people. And I think this process that we have set forth, 24 people running for president, 23 aren't going to make it to the mountaintop. My goal is to make sure that all of those candidates and their supporters feel like they got a fair shake, so that next spring, when we have our nominee, they can hit the ground running.
Final question. When and how will you decide who stands on the stage with whom? If it's going to be 10 and 10 for the first 2 nights, who gets to go side by side with the others?
Great. June 12th will be the last date that you qualify for. So within 48 hours, June 14th or so, we will have made the selection. And again, our goal was random selection. Our goal is not to have a varsity JV matchup. And so we outlined exactly what we do. And so let's say 20 people qualify. By June 14th, we will know what the order will be. It will be what we do know is it'll be 2 nights in a row, and there would be 10 the first night, 10 the second night. And I'm confident that these debates are going to get a lot of viewing, both in June and then in July when we're with CNN. I think there's the most important debates that we've seen.
Think about my March Madness idea. I'm serious about it. I don't mean with elimination, but I just mean so that we can winnow by looking at 2 candidates on the stage at once. Thank you, Mr. Secretary. I appreciate it.
Have a great day.